Greetings, greetings to all of you, whatever the parts of the world that you're watching. And I want to welcome you in Charles Contemporary Artists. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And today I'm going to talk about, or not really talk about, but today is I want to pay a tribute to Makonde artists or Makonde artisans that I had an opportunity, to work together with them and to share the experience and above all, these artisans that they shape, myself, my thoughts in terms of arts. So, before I progress, okay, I have to pay, a tribute through to invoke the names of our ancestors. So bear with me just a minute, in tribute for those, artisans that uh, the in present moment and the one who did departure. Asante sana vanakulu vangu wakati wao cuida nelo hapa cuida na tangola na mumwenu vanakulu vangu mwenu mupagu na mulanga delililo ninkwida na lambolela kwa kila sinu shamutenda wakati wao nelo lundunu na ntondo kwa ngwida hapa ninkwida na lambwalela kila shinu shamutenda kila shinu shamupange mwenu mwa ni mwenu mumanyiti kila shinu ninkwida kwida na leka liduva lyolyali nelo lundu na ntondo makono mwenu vanakulu vangu mwenu. Asante sana. I have to give, a little bit of prayer, to the our ancestors, the living ancestors, and the ones who did departure. But why I have to do it in traditional way? Because I believe in our ancestors, and I believe in living souls as they did departure. That's why. And also the a prayer that I after, praying in here is I was just asking to our ancestors to bless these moments and bless every single moment that I am fortunately to be able to experience, not also and to bless also this present moment that you see. I'm gonna talk about these artisans, that I met for years, who they did real shape myself my thoughts and my belief and the way I walk and the way I talk. That's why, I have to, and also to mention that I have to do this prayer in traditional language, um, Makonde language, and this for many one reason, because it's through this language that I can connect directly to these ancestors and the present one at the present moment. By the way, as I said it, welcome to Charles Contemporary Artists. Here basically um, is a um, is a space really that I created, a space that I can debate, a space that I can really um, put out there, some information, and you can check it out yourself, after. But with no further ado, let me proceed now, to thank these master artisans, master carvers, Makonde master carvers specifically. So, if you new in here, even if you new with the word Makonde, Makonde is a tribe from northern Mozambique, and the language they speak in northern Mozambique is Makonde. Makonde is the traditional language or the Bantu language that we speak in the north, and it's incredible tribe. It's an amazing tribe. Has I'm gonna have to get back and to recall now, about Africa. Africa, is huge. Africa is huge, and with 54 countries, 55, let's say, countries in Africa, and each country in Africa, pardon me, they have a traditional language, they have a culture, and they have a different gastronomy. For example, I'll give you example, for what I said it, 54 country, and each one of these countries, when you go in it, they have different gastronomy. I mean, different food and culture, music, and dress code. Dress code. So, by saying that, it's really, really wonderful and complying and accomplish, the magnificence, the beauty, of Africans as a nation. And so back into Makonde people, they originated in northern Mozambique, and the Mozambique again, it's a country, with a lot of provinces, cities, village, and cities, and north of Mozambique, we speak Makonde in north of Mozambique. But if you go down to south center, they have, for example, in the south they speak Shangana. You go to a center of Mozambique, they speak Sena, Ndao, this part of Mozambique. But born now, because you see, I born in northern Mozambique, in a place called Pemba, Pemba in Mozambique. Ah, beautiful, beautiful, and I'm so proud in this time to be uh, mainly alive, mainly alive and born in Mozambique and be able to see, the world. It's just has been a bonus and it's just incredible. I have to thank that to my ancestors that in the beginning, in the day one, they knew it, because they know everything, everything, everything. And back into northern Mozambique, there are these Makonde people. Makonde people, they're well renowned in their culture, musical, and traditions, mainly into music and art, which is wood carving. But wood carving and music, you see, these are bounded together. Because why I'm saying this? It's because when as an artist, after a long walk, a long um, a time doing your work and carving, it comes in certain times that you see you need to refresh your minds. It comes into certain times that you see you do real need to reset your thoughts, and that's how music come about. And the music is just a wonderful and incredible, because we have um ke Shmakonde Vatangodoni Kenga Mapiko. Mapiko is the traditional dance of Mozambique, a traditional dance of Mozambique that helps to relieve, not also, the stress of the world, stress of the world we're living in it. But it's so magnificent because the balance that it's there, it's just incredible. It's incredible because um, through the dance, it's mainly um, in festival seasons and important days. But important days, what I mean about that, because as a Makonde, we have traditionals. Traditionals, um, those traditionals, for example, I'm going to talk about the rituals. We have rituals. Those rituals in ancient Makonde, it's very important because those are the rituals that if a boy, comes and is grown up, to become a man, you have to go to these rituals, so which is the elders pass you wisdom, for you to become a man. It's just incredible and wonderful, and these apply for both um, young boys and young women. In this case, for young boys, the rituals and this whole process, it's called uh, rikumbi. Rikumbi. It's called Rikumbi. And then we go back into the women's or female. It's called Ntamango. Ntamango. And it's a certain season, certain times, because this goes the according of the age of the children. So when this time come, and you can see the music, you can see the happiness of the family, because you see now this process, I was telling you about it, the rituals, okay, so um, occur on the same time, but in separate places, because men, you see, the in the other side, and the women in the other side. So in the men sections is the men only turn into, but it's not just any men that can turn into, because you see, you have to be initiated in Rikumbi for you to be able to enter into and to be able to assist, because you are initiated. So the main thing is you gotta have to be initiated for you to get into, and it's the same apply for the females. So they have as well the our mothers, sisters that they have been in this traditional for so long, and they go as this and they pass. The most important thing is during this process is just the transfer of the knowledge of elder to the youngest, and to come, to become a better youth and a better man in future, which is this is a cultural value of Makonde people of northern of Mozambique. And during this process, I I born I born in this artistical family, through a wonderful a master thank you, a master hood cover, in Mozambique. Actually, I'm talking about my my teacher, my mentor, my father. He born uh, in northern Mozambique, but he born in the area of Nangadi, Mueda. Both of my parents, because one is from Mueda, and another from the deep skets of northern of Mozambique. And during this process, and I became, but so glad and appreciate, the universe and the way he put the whole thing together. I born, and I early. years, I wasn't really, interested, in art, because there's this now, it's huge, everywhere in the world, every parent, it tells you you gotta have to go to school, you gotta have to go to study and go to university, graduate, and for you to get a better job, and I've done pretty much same, but I could go back into school and coming back home, but there's a man there now, right? And he lives through his art. I'm talking about a master carver, master teacher, Charles Ngundangu Malaya. This is my this is my teacher, my father. This great man. And if you see, this piece here or this video, I'm making this in your tribute, and also in a tribute of all the artisans back in Vilanculos, in Yambani, Beira, you yourself, in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. And I wanna to thank you, and I've no words, to thank you. But as I'm proceeding, I really grow up in this um, artisans. Wow, different skills. Each one of them with a different skill. Each one of them with different skills. I go back in here and I look, at pieces of work, and each artisan's beautiful and wonderful. And what makes the whole thing so unique, it's about the expression of each individual. He's just incredible, in so many sense, because you can, through the pieces, you can read, really, you see the minds, of each artisan, and the ability, which is makes the whole thing so incredible. Sitting down watching, I used to do this, go back to school and coming back, and they're there, because you see, time for the artisans, has, in some parts of the world, you see, and say, time is so valuable, and they're there every day. They can spend, a piece. For example, I'll give you an example. A piece like that. Okay, a piece like that, and they can spend, probably, I spend, if I haven't any other work, if I sit down, concentrate, I'll say to you that, 5 days, 4 to 5 days, to make a piece like that. And can you imagine, this is just a huge trunks and pieces, and this is repeated over years and years by doing it. And which is today I'm paying a tribute for those who they didn't make it, in this time, and to be able to see and to hear me to talk about them, about the greatness, and about how proud I am, at the moments that they use to teach me, to correct me, to guide me in real good path. And I really appreciate and here to tell you that yous are still alive, because the battle is still here, and I'm here through your thoughts, through your guidance. I still remember, and I want to thank you, all the Makonde artisans, from north to south, center of Mozambique, and also, to say to you, Charles Ngundango Mawaja, asante sana mzee, na nashukuru sana. Also, Dr. Gabriel Nchukiri Nchukiri, haju ni Ngundin Charles Malaya, na asante sana kwa wakati tupagwite salumu na bongo tushamushe di salumu na vinu yukumpunshi nangu ni lambo lela na kuka ku Casa de Cultura na kuleka Eduardo uti mwenu ku Casa de Cultura nangu ni kuida na lambolela madengo ya mukola mwenu na kila sinu samutenda mwenu ko Casa Cultura ko beira na ngutango edo oni kenga kutunumanga ku Cap Delgado uti wafundi nangu ni mwenenu na ninkwida wakati wo wao na indila yoyai kwida na tango na mumwenu tango doni kenga munadobe na ninkulambolela madengu ya mutenda mwenu na kila Makonde aona aigwa katika shangu tango nangu hapa, lazima tuandalee katika mambo yetu mwa Makonde ni Makonde, Nelo Lundunu na Ntondo ninkwida wakati wao jamaa, asante sana na nilambo na mene na mpaka episodi inji na tunatangola. I was basically addressing now to just a few peoples, you see, that they impact me a lot, all over the years, starting, with my father first, and then, other uncles and incredible artisans too, incredible skills, and pretty much it, and I can't wait, to go back, and be able to see, how they doing in this time. But you see, there's a saying, a luta continua. Here we are, in these fights, and the fight continues. So I'm in this part, doing my part, and elevate all, young artisans and young Makonde people, they come, the young youth that you see, don't be ashamed. It's all right, because that's who we are. and that's our culture. We have to embarrass, our culture. And so this is how, identify ourselves and bound ourselves and get us stronger. Not only that, it's the way also to get solution to resolve problems. Problems, everyday problems that come in. But first of all, you have to be rooted deeply into for you to be able to vibrate and really understand. And I have now I'm so speechless, but as I'm coming to the end, and I have to thank everybody, and to be able to be here and to do this piece here, so that if you're sitting down, and hopefully it will bring you into consciousness. And as we finish, I just want to give you this holla and say to you that welcome again in Charles Contemporary